Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Some 82% of South African consumers are struggling to ensure that their household income meets their monthly needs. That's according to the findings of the latest TransUnion Financial Hardship Survey. It's a staggering number and one that is unlikely to get better anytime soon. So which elements of the household's financial responsibilities can be reorganized so that indebtedness can be dealt with? One consideration is the rent to own. For more, we're joined by Mthokozisi HP Nozibele, a sales call center manager at Teljoy. A very good afternoon to you, sir. Thanks very much for joining us here on SABC News.
Oh, thank you, Flo, and thank you for the opportunity to be on the show with you.
You're most welcome. All right, so, I mean, is it a case of people living above their means? I mean, 82%, as we said in this intro, is quite a staggering number of South Africans that aren't, able to meet their monthly needs and obligations. Something is clearly very wrong. What's happening?
Yeah, so in South Africa, it's no secret that people fund their lifestyles using credit.
Yeah.
And this, builds up. One gets their first credit card and a second one until they can't manage that debt. It becomes too much for their monthly income. And we have a situation where 82% of credit-worthy consumers are struggling to meet their monthly payments.
Mm. And household responsibilities, I mean, how can they be reorganized? Let's talk about that. We're obviously today talking about the rent to own. Perhaps you can tell us how exactly that also works. Where does one really start?
Yeah, so the rent to own is a flexible way to get your household appliances via a rental-based kind of system instead of hire purchase or credit. Mm-hmm. Typical example is someone is looking for a TV, and we all know the latest TV is latest TV with the latest technology is well worth 10,000 Rand, and a regular person can't shell out 10,000 Rand and buy a TV cash.
Yeah.
So they've got two options. One is HP, which is credit, and we as Teljoy come in where it's rent to own, which is far more flexible than your usual credit. Mm. With credit, when you sign a credit agreement, you're locked into that agreement until it's terminated by a term, which is usually 36 months for furniture. Yeah. With rent to own, it's actually a month-to-month rental agreement. So you can cancel at any time. So it offers a lot of flexibility. And not just the flexibility, there's service behind what we do at Teljoy with our rent-to-own model. And if you look at, if one has gone and purchased goods at a credit company or furniture that offers credit, you'll see that there's absolutely no service after that that credit agreement is signed, although you still have a long term to be with that, to be paying that company until the furniture is paid off.
Yeah. What I do know is that with any agreement, there's always, the small print, and maybe you should tell us a little bit more about that small print. I mean, you talk about the fact that you can cancel anytime. It's never that easy. And also on the back of it, at the end of the day, this is a case of, being in still having to pay something per month. And it does happen that, as you say, people can't really, pay for their debt. So what happens in a month where a person actually doesn't have the money to pay? You made the example of a TV, can't pay that month for the rent of that TV. What happens? Do you then walk in, take the TV away from the person? I mean, how does all of this sort of work?
I'm glad you make that comment about the fine print. The model is unbelievable. It is exactly how we say it. It's a month-to-month agreement that you can cancel within 30 days, and we'll come and pick up the goods. Usually unheard of if you went to a credit providing a sort of furniture store. And to answer your question about what happens if you can't pay, obviously we we expect payments on a monthly basis as per your credit agreement. If you find yourself in a situation where you can't pay any longer, we're flexible enough to offer you something smaller. Maybe you had this huge 55-inch TV and your circumstances changed. What's been happening in the past year. We've seen so many people lose their jobs, income, businesses being closed down. And let's say your circumstances changed. We're flexible enough to say, right, if your TV that was 55 inches cost you 500 Rand, now you can't afford to spend 500 Rand on a TV on a monthly basis, but you can spend 250 Rand. We are more than willing to swap out the two TVs so that you are always, in a situation where you're paying for things you can afford.
Yeah.
Now, with a credit agreement, the day you sign on the dotted line, it's going to be that way all the way until the term is over. Which, like we said, life is changing so dramatically these days. Can you predict what's going to happen in the next 36 months?
Yeah. Okay, Mthokozisi, do you ever actually really own the TV? You say it's a rent to own. So at which point, how does the contract then work to the point where, yes, now you own that television set?
All right. So, yeah, definitely. So for the first 36 months, that TV is on rental. And on your 36th month, all you need to do is call our customer care department and let them know you want to take ownership of the goods.
Yeah.
And now what happens is all the responsibility of ownership then fall onto you. Let's use the TV for an example again. If you are on rent to own with one of our TVs, your TV license is paid for, right? Until you take ownership. So with you renting the TV through us, you don't have to pay the yearly TV license fee. Teljoy pays it on your behalf. Let's say that TV, something goes wrong with it and it needs a service or a repair, whatever the case may be. Teljoy will come out to your house and endeavor to fix it on site. If we can't fix it on site, we could leave a loaned unit so that you're not left in the lurch without a TV.
Yeah.
And so we take away or alleviate the burden of ownership. All the things like ensuring that 15,000 Rands worth of a TV, Teljoy takes care of it in the rental period.
Yeah.
And once you take ownership, of course, then you are responsible for that TV. You have to put your own insurance on it, ensure that you do have an alternative should it break down. And that's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, Teljoy is running a business at the end of the day. Nothing is easy. Obviously, there's something that Teljoy is getting out of this. What is it? So you guys obviously have bought that television set, wherever you've bought it, for cash. Are you putting on, extra money onto it? Or what are you putting extra that the consumer then has to sort of pay for? I don't think that you're doing this out of, your good hearts or whatever, but you're obviously making something out of it, and really essentially, why would someone choose this as opposed to just sort of buying on credit? It sounds very similar to me to just buying something on credit.
Yeah, that's a great question. What do we add to that TV after we've bought it from our suppliers? What we do is add value and security. So if you went and bought a TV on credit, or it doesn't have to be a credit agreement with the retailer. You could have taken your credit card and went to swipe your TV for cash, right? And right after that TV now is yours to baby. So with Teljoy, we're saying, right, of course, we have value-added services that we add onto the price of the TV, which is the insurance we spoke about. The maintenance. Let's say someone break into your house, and we all know that house breakings in South Africa are a common occurrence, and they steal your TV. You are covered. Teljoy will replace that TV. So what we're adding onto from when we get it from our suppliers is absolute value and flexibility for one to use this sort of service.
All right. Mthokozisi, thanks very much for explaining this all to us. Appreciate your time. Mthokozisi Nozibele is the sales call center manager at Teljoy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Let's